Your everyday body movements, such as drinking a glass of water, kicking a ball, moving your fingers, or even just looking, wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the most complex organ in the human body, your brain. As a part of the nervous system, the brain coordinates all of our body's functions, but we never really stop to think for a second about how much responsibility is put to this magnificent product of mankind's evolution. So here I am today to share with you just the tip of the iceberg of neuroscience, or more specifically, how the human brain works. Now, many organisms around the world own peculiar structural brains, all built in unique forms. But if we were to choose which species would come on top on a hypothetical intelligence contest, it turns out that the relative winner would neither be the largest brain or the smallest brain, or not even the most complex. Instead, it would be our primate ancestors, the Homo sapiens sapiens. I like to describe our minds as an operation of genetic excellence, because humanity has expanded their communication and cognitive skills so immensely in such a short period of time. Well, relatively short. Since Homo habilis, approximately 2 million years ago, the hominid brain has increased in size. The increase of cortical folding gave us advantages, such as the ability to cognize things on a level unlike any other primate or species.
So what's the secret?
The survival of the species with the most favorably fit traits. It is presumed that this enlargement is proportional to the quantity of neurons and synaptic connections caused within the brain. Now allow me to introduce you to what some have called the most complex object in the universe. The brain cortex is the outermost layer of our brain, and it consists of neurons.
They transmit information generated by nervous impulses.
It's been theorized that the brain is divided by 4 main regions.
First, we got the largest part of the brain, which is called cerebrum. It consists of nerve fibers, and it controls functions like learning, reasoning, speech, and senses like sight and hearing. Next, we've got the cerebellum, which coordinates muscle movement, balance, and posture. Our third region is the brainstem, which anchors the brain to the spinal cord. It contains vital bodily functions like respiration, digestion, sleep, cardiac activity, as well as it pumps blood to all parts of our body. At last, we've got the diencephalon, which is the core of the brain. It processes all senses except for smell, and it creates sensations. Here we can find the pituitary gland.
The pituitary gland is in charge of segregating all these hormones through the bloodstream, regulating sensations. We have testosterone, adrenaline, oxytocin, endorphins, estrogen that are all activated as a consequence of our environment. Wrapping it all up, the brain has to interpret and process information it receives from the outside world and then come up with responses for it. Sounds simpler, right?
But if we ever were to replicate this abstract organ, like the company Netcom is doing, we should just take into consideration that the number of neurons in one human brain has been equated to the number of stars in the Milky Way.
Our brains make up less than 2% of our weight, and yet it defines our humanity and makes us the individuals that we are.
So, if we achieve codifying every brain trait into an algorithm in a computer, we could hypothesize digital immortality. Sounds crazy, doesn't it?
But if the brain created science, can science create a brain? Our peculiar headpiece enlightens us with such magical and mysterious gifts, such as consciousness, curiosity, imagination, and creativity. So, conclusively, how would you answer the question, where is the science?